So here I am with CJ Redwine, and would you tell me a little bit about some of your books?
Sure. I've written the Defiant Series, which is a post-apocalyptic fantasy. It's a genre that doesn't exist except for here, apparently. And this is a story of a girl who commits treason against the brutal leader of her city-state in order to go rescue her father in the wasteland beyond. And what she discovers starts a war that was 20 years in the making. And the book that I will also have at the festival comes out in February. It's called The Shadow Queen, and that is an epic fantasy dark retelling inspired by the Snow White fairy tale.
Thank you so much. What are some of your favorite things about the writing process? What are some of your favorite moments in writing?
When I type the end, finally. I really love world building. My writing process is super nuts. I spend 3 or 4 months not actually putting anything on paper. I just have it living in my mind, growing. I do a lot of research on the etymology of the world I'm building and creating maps and topography and culture and architecture and holidays and all those kind of things that you need in a fantasy world. And then I spend about 6 to 7 weeks drafting, so it's kind of nuts. I'm doing 5,000 words a day but I love it is a lot. It is a lot. Yeah. But that's just kind of what works for me. And I love getting to know my world. I love getting to know my characters, and I love hitting the end on a rough draft because then I know I finally have all the materials I need to work with to revise it and make it better.
Well, I'm so excited that you're going to be here. Several of my students are thrilled that you're going to be here. And I was wondering if you would tell me why you think young adult book festivals are important and what you think their benefit is.
I love book festivals. It's my favorite thing to do. I really love connecting with the community of readers. I was a reader. I mean, I grew up without a television, which is, I know, it was super rare back in the day, when I lived as a child. But I grew up without a television, and so I grew up with books. And that was my friends. Those are my escape, my alternate world. And I just didn't have a lot of people in my life that were like me. I went to a very small school, and I was the only person not watching Beverly Hills 90210, and I was reading Terry Brooks instead. So I love the Book Fest because it gives a place for students and people like me to connect with older versions of yourself and connect with those authors. I would have given my kidney to be able to connect with an author as a teenager. And so I love that right now I'd give a kidney to connect with readers. I love connecting with readers and talking to them about stories. My stories, anyone's stories, it doesn't matter. So it's really great to have that in my own backyard.
I have to ask you one more question. What is the best experience you've ever had with connecting with an author? You're talking about how much you desire to connect with an author. Can I tell you mine first? First, when I was younger, I wrote a letter to Lloyd Alexander. And he wrote me back on this little piece of typewritten stationery, and it was this very personal letter that he had personally typed on a typewriter, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Mine is actually just last year. I was at a book fest and on a panel, and I got my information for my schedule and everything, and looked at my panel, and I was on a panel with Terry Brooks, and I was just like, achievement unlocked! I have defeated the boss. This entire level is mine. I mean, I was so excited that I was on a panel with Terry Brooks because he was huge. When I was a teenager, I read the whole Sword of Shannara series. So excited. So I made a complete fool of myself. I mean, they told me to introduce myself, and I was like, hey, I'm CJ Redwine. Oh my gosh, I'm on a panel with Terry Brooks! And I just fangirled over him for about 3 minutes, and then he was really gracious. He was like, thank you, CJ. You made me feel old, but I'm so glad that you loved my books.
Thank you so much, and we're so excited to have you at our book festival. Thank you very much.